Hey guys, welcome to another Six Sages Gaming Budget Brew. Today I have for you the Earth Lightning Odin deck that we had played on camera last week, and I was going to change a little bit of the cards, but I ended up keeping it the same. And really this deck is all about playing kind of your early aggression value cards, and then topping off with things like the Emperor, who just combo insanely well with Delita, and then Kain, who in combination with Seraphy and Sage can give you that kind of late game killing effect. So pretty straightforward deck. So first we're going to talk about the forwards, then we're going to talk about the summons, and then wrap it up with the backups. So let's get right into it. So up first is Kate Sith. Again, I've talked about how this guy is just in every lightning deck I play. He's a great EX burst, and when you combo him with Red Mage, which is one of our backups, they can give him haste, you'll see that he becomes just a slightly cheaper 4-drop lightning that can help you end the game. So I like running 3 because of the EX burst. It's cheap, so you can discard early if you don't want to. If you don't want them, it's really just a late game card that can help you get that last bit of victory. But the EX burst has saved me plenty of times. Next we have 1-Up Dark Knight. This is a card that you always want to see late game, so it gets plus 1,000 power for each damage you have. So of course, once you're at like 3-4, damage, it becomes a 6,000 or 7,000 for 2, which is just absurdly good value. It can help wall off your opponent for a couple turns, so it's worth investing in at least having a 1-Up in the deck in hopes that you draw it late. Up next is a 2-Of Mystic. I really just wanted another early aggression based forward, but what I like about this one is that it can break a backup and gain plus 3,000 power. Now it doesn't say once per turn or anything like that, so you can keep using this effect, and obviously breaking your backups comes with some cost, and you'll see later that we do mitigate that cost. But it's a great card that you can just swing, and your opponent's saying, man, I could block with my 9k, and maybe their backup is filled. They can just easily, banish 2 backups, get 9,000 power, and offer a trade. So Mystic is just a great combat trick forward, which you'll see will work well with one of our summons. One of the other key pieces, this deck is kind of a reanimator effect to it. I just don't want to call it that, but for logistics, but you get guys out of your break zone, which is really, really helpful for all the S effects that we run and other things. So Seraphy is an EX burst herself. She is an amazing turn 1 play if you're on the play, so your opponent doesn't get anything back. It's great late game because it can give you a Gilgamesh back or something like that to win that turn. This card just does a lot in terms of not only being a value forward at a 2-drop 6k, but the ability to get back a card that can win you the game on that turn is certainly very, very strong. And again, keeping in mind that we can give her haste. 1-Of a 2-drop Delita. This is not anything that's special. It's literally just for the 3-drop version because I wanted at least one more S, or one more Delita for his S effect. Now this card I absolutely love. It is a complete cornerstone of the deck. 3-drop 9k, which is absurd stats, but it comes at the cost. You have to break one of your backups. And I'll just get to this now. The thing that I've done on camera a lot, that I've talked about I like, is you play Emperor on turn 2, you attack it on the next turn, you attack with it, use Delita, break the Emperor, you get a free 9k, and then you still have a Emperor in the field based on his effect. So it's just a great way to load up the field with 2 9k bodies, which, as you guys know, is very hard to deal with. Unless they have a matching 9k or buff effects. So it's extremely effective at pressuring your opponent early, and you'll see in the video that we did last week, Matt was absolutely feeling the pressure by the Delita Emperor combo. Then we have 3 Morphing Time Gilgamesh. I don't need to beat a dead horse on this. Double attacking is great, becomes a 14. Your opponent's going to have a very hard time blocking this, and if they do try to block it, they're just going to lose their forwards. 4-drop Gilgamesh, just another absolute staple. Can't be bounced, so it's good against the water decks. It has the ability to power itself up to be a 9k or a 10k, so extremely good in combat. And then to top that all off, he has a divider effect, which you guys know I love so much. It's just a way to be able to kill one of your opponent's forwards. I mentioned it earlier, but 4-drop Lightning. This will just forever be a 3-of in every Lightning deck I run until we get something better. It's a 4-drop 4k, stats are okay, but it has haste and it dulls something to get it out of the way. This is absolutely one of those cards that you want to think a couple turns ahead, think about playing some other guys, and then suddenly you can tap down their best blocker and swing with 2 or 3 guys at a time, which can really put the damage on, and this card has led to several damage bursts for me. Now getting into our heroes, we play 6 total in this deck, 3 Emperor, 3 Kain. Again, this card I just love because there's not a lot of things that are countering it other than like Yuna and Bahamut, which may or may not see play at your local, so please keep that in mind. If you're seeing a lot of Legend Fire Bahamut, or you're seeing a lot of the Hero Yuna, this card is going to be a lot less powerful in value. But if you get to live the dream, you get to get off the combo, this is a very aggressive card that can be absolutely great for you. So I am a huge fan of this combo, and hopefully we'll see more cards interact with it well later. Now, the last card we have is Kane. Now, again, this is a budget brew, and we've talked about several times how we're not the biggest fan of this card, but it does do a few interesting things. It's an EX burst that deals 5,000, or sorry, shrinks by 5,000, so that's a whole other discussion. It can kill the early aggressive drops. You can play it and then attack with something, and then your opponent's not going to be able to block because they're going to lose their, let's say, 9k4 that then became a 4k. So he's great for helping push through damage. And then lastly, his break effect, which causes him to rest for another turn, so that does hurt a little bit. But again, if you're winning the game on that spot, it doesn't really matter. So this is where I was talking about with Seraphy, or if you have Sage, which you'll see in our backups as well. There's a lot of ways to get cards back, and with either Divider or Morphing Time or Kane, there's a lot of ways to set up battle tricks where we can get through that last couple points of damage and make sure we're going to win the game. Now, this is a card, now this did get an errata, so that is something to mention right now. You can either give something plus 2,000 power, or if it's blocked, give it plus 4,000. So it's a card that's great both defensive and offensive, that it can just really put through the punch when you need it to. So the card itself, and you can see the corrected text on Mognet, so if I mess that up, my apologies. I've only ever used this for offensive, so the plus 2,000 pump. And I cannot stress enough in this game, you know, plus 1,000 pump is pretty good. Plus 2,000, you're going to be coming ahead in that victory. And for the simple fact that it's a one-cost battle trick, it's absolutely great if you're playing something like Seraphy early. They try to block, it becomes an 8k, and it just is great value. So the EX burst isn't always relevant. It can definitely help your opponent stop attacking, so it might save you a point of damage, but I'd almost always rather have it for a more offensive position. And then lastly, 7-cost Odin. This should be absolutely no surprise if you watched our video last week. This card was just absolutely a beater. So if you're playing Lightning, just play a 3 of in every single deck. Now, this is something that we break away from the norm. We are playing 3 of the Evokers, and again, this is because we're playing Delita, and we want to be able to have something that is very low cost to us, that we can break, and it just helps us accelerate our game plan in terms of being able to play more of the backups quicker. So 3 Evoker really comes into play in this deck when you're playing Delita. 2 of Black Belt. This thing I just like just because you can choose a blocked forward and give it 1,000 power. Again, it's all about the battle tricks. We really want another low drop backup, and this absolutely fills that role. 2 of Red Mage. Again, giving things haste randomly is really, really good, especially if your opponent's not going to see that hasted Delita that's coming through for 9k damage. Or again, the key card that you want to be giving haste is Kate Sith, because you can play it, dull something down, then give it haste, and it's going to just put an absolute beating on your opponent. 3 Magus, or Magus, we needed something to curve out into, and this is just a great card that deals 5,000 damage. Oftentimes, early game, turn 1, turn 2, it's going to be able to kill something your opponent plays, or late game, it allows you to, you know, attack with something like Kate Sith. They block with a 6 or 7k, thinking they're fine. You can then play Magus, kill that forward after combat, and you can come out ahead in that regard. So it makes your opponent think that they're okay to block, when in reality they're not. Seymour, this is just an absolutely insane card. Probably could run 4 or 3 rather, because we are playing Delita and we could be able to break one. But drawing these in multiples without having Delita does hurt a lot. But being able to break a forward of cost 3 or less is just so good. This card I expect to see in every Lightning deck going forward, because it's a great early play for aggressive decks, and it's just great for control decks as well. So Seymour is something that I know I wrote off early, but after play testing with it, it's absolutely amazing. Sage, only a 2 of, because again, we want to have a lot lower curve on our backups, but this is again just great to be able to get back Delitas, Kanes, or Gilgameshes, so we can activate their S effect again, and hopefully win the game on the spot. And then lastly is Mustadio. Another just great EX burst effect. It does cost 5, so it's a little bit more costly than what we would like to pay for. So hopefully we're just getting this for the EX burst effect. In a pinch, though, we can absolutely play them together. So that's all I have for this video, guys. That is our budget brew for the Earth Lightning featuring Delita and the Emperor. As you guys know, this has been one of my favorite combos for a very long time. And we are going to be doing some more budget decks in the very near future. So let us know what other color combinations that you want to see. We're going to be working on a few dual series, deck spotlights, all that good stuff. We want to make sure that we're focusing on decks that you guys want to see. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure you check out with your local game shop because restock is right now. If you guys haven't heard yet, organized play is confirmed. Stock is happening. It is a great time to be getting into this game. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and we'll catch you on the next 6 Sages Gaming Budget Brew. Have a good one.